So without further ado, we will get started with our first presenter, Elaine Hon. So Elaine Hon is a registered dietitian and certified diabetes and education specialist. She works in Stanford Health Care's Emeryville Clinic, where she sees patients one-on-one and teaches group classes. Elaine will be talking about optimizing your gut health today.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk about your gut health. And I see so many patients day to day, and I get a lot of questions regarding gut health. And I was told this was one of the top asked about question in the health library. So I'm excited to talk more about it today. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the gut microbiome. It plays many key roles in our body, and it's considered a supporting organ. It does a lot of things to help support our body, and I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about the microbiome and what it does. And I'm also going to go over the very specific foods that we can include into our diet to help make our gut more diverse and happy. So we have the good bacteria, and we also have the bad bacteria in our body. In a healthy person, they all coexist with no problems. But if there is a disturbance in the balance, such as using antibiotics, or if it's brought on because you're not feeling well, or maybe certain types of foods that you're eating disrupts the balance, then dysbiosis occurs. And when that occurs, there's a disruption and the body may become more susceptible to disease. So now you may be interested in learning how can we keep a good balance of the good and bad bacteria in our body? That's when we're going to start talking about probiotics and prebiotics. Leah, can you change to the next slide? Okay, so probiotics add more healthy bacteria and prebiotics feed the already existing bacteria in our body. For one, the ways that the microbiota can help with our body is that it can make vitamins such as vitamin K and also for the water-soluble B vitamins. Vitamin K helps to make various proteins that are needed for blood clotting and building of the bones. B vitamins, they help convert the food into energy and also create new blood cells, and it can help maintain healthy skin cells, brain cells, and other body tissues. Another way that the microbiota helps our body is that it helps break down sugar. So sugars like table sugar and lactose, they are easily digested and absorbed in the upper part of the small intestine. But the more complex carbohydrates that include things like fiber, they're not easily digested, and then they travel down to the large intestine. That's where the microbiota helps break down the fiber and their digestive enzymes. So prebiotics, they're good sources of dietary fiber, and they can help promote bowel regularity. They can help you make you feel full longer. It can also help with lowering cholesterol and promoting heart health. When these fibers are being digested, they go through this fermentation process, and they create something called short chain fatty acids. These short chain fatty acids, they play an important role in our body that helps with preventions of chronic diseases, and they can help regulate your blood sugar. You can change to the next slide. So how do you achieve a healthy microbiome? I'm going to talk now more about the specifics of the probiotics and prebiotic foods. First off, I really want you to understand that these foods that I'm going to talk about, they are readily available at your grocery store. You don't need to go to a specialty store to find these items, so it's something that is easily accessible to you. So probiotics, they are foods that contain the good bacteria. They contain fermented foods like kefir, yogurt with live active cultures, pickled vegetables, kombucha, kimchi, miso, and sauerkraut. So if you have never experimented with kefir before and you're wondering, how can I use this? Smoothies are a great way to start. You can blend fruit like bananas, berries, and peaches, flavors like vanilla and cinnamon. If you want to try miso, you can add the miso to a soup and really deepen the flavor of it. You can also take a miso paste and then mix it with sesame oil. You can spread it on top of a fish fillet and then broil the fillet to have this nice shiny glaze. And it's really, really delicious. If you're wondering what you can do with pickled vegetables, well, tonight can be Taco Tuesday night, and you can add the pickled vegetables on top of the tacos. And also, if you want to have like a nice charcuterie board or like a nice spread, you could also have this as something that would just kind of make the charcuterie board a little bit more exciting. You can also add it to a salad for a nice acidic flavor. Now, prebiotics, they're the ones that feed the probiotics to help them thrive. So these foods include garlic, onions, leeks, bananas, asparagus. I like to think of it as more of like a lot of the fruits and vegetables. They're good sources of prebiotics. If you want to experiment with something that maybe you haven't used before, like leeks, you can cook leeks like an onion. You can saute them in a pot to create an aromatic base for a soup or a stew. You can also steam them or serve them hot or cold as a side, or you can steam them briefly and then just brush on a little bit of oil and then grill them. You could also add bananas to your breakfast or as like an easy snack. You can roast some asparagus on a sheet pan with some of the other vegetables for a nice lunch or dinner meal. Can you advance the slide? And finally, now I'm just going to talk about like how do you kind of put it all together? There's the probiotics, the prebiotics, but how do you want to add this into your day-to-day? Well, this is a nice way to show like portion as well. You know, if you have a nice healthy plate, you want to put half of your plate to be a lot of the non-starchy vegetables, and a lot of those would be your prebiotics. A quarter of the plate would be some lean protein, and then the other quarter of your plate would be your whole grains. All of these combined, you can mix your prebiotics, your probiotics to your day-to-day. I hope you found some of these information helpful, and I just want to, really explain that when the prebiotics and probiotics are consumed together, there there are so many good benefits for your heart health and your digestive health. So if you're hoping to improve more of your gut health, including all of these foods will be helpful. But if you also are experiencing any like GI issues and you want to talk a little bit more, feel free to reach out to your doctor or a registered dietitian for more information. And then that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Elaine. That was so informative. I really liked how you gave us very specific examples, how to cook and use all these different foods to really help our gut health. That was really great. You made it so practical.